Quaid Azam, Part 295. Besides, it was not within Nehru's remit to alter unilaterally that which the Congress Working Committee had accepted. To do so in this manner, especially when the possibility of real rapprochement appeared, within reach, was beyond reason. It was eventually to lead to yet another crisis. Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, the retiring Congress President, referred then to Nehru's press conference as one of those unfortunate events which changed the course of history, adding that it was not correct to say, as Nehru did, the Congress was free to modify the cabinet mission plan as it pleased. Azad further said Jinnah had accepted the cabinet mission plan and there was no alternative. In response to Nehru's reaction, Jinnah issued a statement that it was for the British Parliament and His Majesty's governments to make it clear beyond the doubt and remove the impression that the Congress had accepted the long-term scheme of the cabinet mission, as was being conveyed abroad by the timid efforts of cabinet missions delegates and the Viceroy. Jinnah also added that Nehru's statement was a complete repudiation of the basic form upon which the long-term scheme rested. Jinnah also realized, and in fact it was on the process that Jinnah threatened to reconsider the whole situation when the League Working Committee and the Council met at the end of July 1946. There were now enough indications that Congress and the League were heading towards an impending conflict. Even Vallabhbhai Patel had then commenced that Nehru's remarks were a consequence of his emotional immaturity, as Patel called it. Efforts at forming an interim government having failed, issues like parity. Well, I can add a comment over here. Since the book has been written by Jaswant Singh, a leader of Bharatiya Janata Party, so he's not trying just to justify the things over there, but in a way he may be targeting the political rivals of Congress I as well. Now this statement has brought in by Patel, Vallabhbhai Patel, and everybody knows what actually is the forthcoming sequence regarding Vallabhbhai Patel and then going along with Bharatiya Janata Party. So sometimes when we narrate history, we do not narrate the events, we narrate our own point of view. And naturally we do come along with the bias that we have. Naturally we try to split a viewpoint in our favor as well. So is it not a comment on Jawaharlal Nehru? Is it not a way to make one's own way through? That's what I've found in these very interesting lines in the book here. I'll come back to the content right now. Efforts at forming an interim government having failed, issues like the parity, Muslim representation by Congress in the government reminded as hurdles. In his interview of 10 July 1946, Nehru had stated clearly that the Congress did not accept the grouping scheme on the lines that Jinnah understood, or rather on the lines put forth by the 16 May statement. After this rejection by the Congress and an acceptance by the League, was the Viceroy not bound by 16 May to form the government with the nominees of the Muslim League alone? This became the issue also under such circumstances to defer forming government, for interval became very contentious. The questions rankled greatly then. And it in fact went all along with it. And the parity at the center was a very important thing. In fact, Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah had been talking for those Muslim majority provinces and certainly talking for separate electorates, and then for the Central Constituent Assembly he had asked for a representation of 33%, although the population of the Muslims in British India was 25%, but he has asked for a representation of 33%. And then there was the parity. The parity said that if there are 5 congressional ministers, there should be 5 legal ministers as well. It would have been a wonderful situation if considered by them. Right now, what is there in the Republic of India? In Republic of India, the Muslims have a percentage of the population ratio more than 19%, and their political representation in the center is only 3.1%. See what all this Abul Kalam Azad and the party have done over there. Quaid Azam said that they represented the Hindus and the Hindu interest, and Abul Kalam Azad, being the show boy of Congress, in fact went the other way. What actually have they seen after 7 decades? The Muslims have a population of more than 19%, and their representation in the Central Constituent Assembly is that of 3.1%. This is a big question for everyone.